Hi girls, for this activity you are going to need a few resources. So if you haven't got them ready, have a quick check and then pause the video to get them. So you're going to need some strips of paper, okay? So at least 4 strips of paper, and make sure all your strips are the same length. Okay, so you can just cut across an A4 piece of paper and that will be perfect. You're going to need some different coloured pens ready, and you will need a pair of scissors. So get those ready and then come back onto the video. Okay, so take your first strip and with one of your colours, I want you to label this as 1. So we're going to have a go at making our own fraction wall today. So that's our 1 hole, and that's going to go at the top of our fraction wall. Okay. I then want you to take a new strip and I want you to fold that strip in half. Now this activity is all about being really precise, so make sure that you fold the edges perfectly to match and then smooth it down to fold it in half. When you open it up, you should have your perfect halves. Okay, take a different colour to label each half. So I have 1 half here and 1 half there. I then want you to use your scissors to cut down that line, that fold line, perfectly. Okay, and you can place your 2 halves right below your 1, and you can see they match perfectly to make 1 whole. Okay, you can see our fraction wall is starting to take shape. Okay, take your next strip. Here we go. Okay, this time we're going to fold it into quarters. So to do that, we're going to fold it in half, just as we did on the previous one. Okay, being really, really precise. Half, and then we know we need to fold it into half again. So again, match up the edges, being really careful. And there we go, press down. When you open it, you should be able to see your quarters. So choose a different colour again to label your quarters. So that's 1/4. And again with your scissors, cut along each line. Okay, and remember you can pause this video whenever you need to at your own pace and then come back to it. Alright, so now you have your 4 quarters, and again we can add them to our fraction wall now. Okay, to see how they fit in. Perfect, our 4 quarters. Okay, next strip. This is the last one we'll do for the moment. So we're going to fold this even more times. So we're going to fold it once to get our halves. Again, be really, really precise, really careful. Okay, fold it again to get our quarters. Okay, and I wonder if you can work out what will happen when I fold it another time. What will I create now? How many equal parts will I have? Let's open up to C. Hopefully you thought and realised we would end up with 8 equal parts. So we have 8s now. So again, in another colour, and the colours are just helpful to separate out the different fractions. We can label each of our 8s. Okay, so there will be 8 in total. And then again, you can take your scissors and very, very carefully cut along each of these lines to add it to your fraction wall. Okay, so hopefully you now have your finished fraction wall, and we are going to use this to add fractions together to make 1 whole. So I want you to leave the 1 there, and we're going to take these away for the moment, and we're going to use them in our adding. Okay, now I'm going to use different denominators, so I'm going to mix up my halves and quarters and 8s. So I'm going to start with a half there, and I'm going to see to add to it to make 1 whole. Okay, and again using a different denominator. So I'm going to take my quarters. If I put 1 there and 1 here, there we go, I've managed to make a whole. Okay, so let's see how we go about recording that. So we have our half, and we have added 1/4. We've added another quarter, and we know that it makes 1 whole because it fits perfectly with our line of 1. Okay, I could have written that as 1/2, add 2/4. So I could put 2 as my numerator. 2/4 again to show that is 1. So that's one calculation to show how we can make one whole. Let's see which other ones we can make. So I'm going to take my halves and quarters away. Okay, in fact I might leave my half there. And this time I'm going to see how many eighths I would need to make one. So I'm going to put 1 there, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I can make one whole doing that. So again, let's see how we can record that calculation. 1/2, add 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths equals 1. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, girls, is play around with that idea and see how many different ways you can make one with all of these fraction parts that you have, okay, that you've made from your fraction wall, aiming to use the different denominators as you go along. Okay. Here is one more example that you could make. So you can see here I have 1/4 and I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. So how I would like you to show this learning to me, girls, is when you go to add response, on the first slide, whatever you decide to do with your fractions to make your whole, have it like I have there and take a photograph of it, and then you can use the writing tool on the slide to write the calculation. Okay, then add a new page, make a new calculation there, so it might be one of the ones we did previously, put the photo on, write it using the writing tool on the slide, and you can keep adding pages for the different ones that you can make. And finally, girls, if you would like an extra challenge, you can try and add some more layers to your fraction wall. Okay, now the halves, quarters and eighths are easy because we're simply folding in half and half again and half again, whereas to fold thirds is a bit trickier. So you can take another strip of paper, and the way I find it easier to do thirds is almost roll it up in a ball to begin with, and then push them and push them and push them until they're roughly even, and then making sure they really are matching, so I've got equal thirds. I can then press it and I can open that up, okay, and see that I've got equal thirds. So again, I'll choose a different colour to label those. I have my thirds. Okay, so I can cut those and I'm going to put them in their place on my fraction wall. So I'm going to move these down ever so slightly. Okay, and put my 3/3 in there. And I'm also going to have a go, now I've got those, I'm going to have a go at making some sixths. So again, if I fold into thirds first, okay, got my thirds, and then all I need to do is fold that in half again, and I will get my sixths. Okay, so remember, this is if you want an extra challenge. So again, I can label my sixths. Using a different colour just to make them really easy to identify. Oops. Cut those up. Okay, remember, do pause the video to do it at your own pace, and then join back in when you're ready. So when you have your sixths, again, you'll have to move your fraction wall around slightly to fit them in. So I'm just going to quickly rearrange mine. Okay, so there it is, that's my fraction wall, and now I can make even more calculations with my fractions. So for example, I might want to move them away, and I realised I can put a half, for example, with 3 of my sixths. Okay, so that's another calculation I could make. 1/2, add 3/6, okay, equals 1, and I could continue from there and see how many different ones I make. So challenge yourself as much as you are able and use the add response tool to write as many calculations as possible with photos of your fraction rule, please, for fractions that add together to make 1.